And then another thing that bothered me as well is the whole like you can't talk like in the subway. Like it feels so surreal to me to be sitting like in a train or in a subway and it's just like so dead quiet and everyone's just scrolling on their phones. It just like it makes me feel so incredibly lonely. Like I feel like lonely, but I'm not lonely, you know, because like I'm used to people talking and people chatting and talking about their day. This person's talking about like their relationship with their husband and it's not going well, and this person on the other corner is talking about like, you know, with their friend, like what's the next plans for the weekend. Like all about these things, like to me it's a lot of noise, but it also makes me realize and kind of feel like I'm not alone, you know. But in the subway systems, when everyone's just dead quiet but you're surrounded by a lot of people, you feel like as if like you're kind of like alone, even though you're not alone. So it was kind of like, I didn't like that too much. And I have been in similar subway systems in Spain, and everyone's always talking and chatting, and sometimes people will just like talk to you and be like, oh, you don't look like you're from around here. Are you a foreigner? It's common for people to chat all the time. So it was a bit of a different experience for me. It was definitely a culture shock, I think so. It just feels a little cold is kind of like what I mean. Because I've been in these both subway systems too in Japan and in Spain. And in Spain, like I said, it feels a bit more warmer. Like people seem more like lively and active. Like they're not on their phones. They're just like talking with other people, like, you know. And some people will be on their phones though. The majority of people are just like chatting and having conversations, you know, like, you know, it's just like a little bit more lively. But in Japan, it felt more like, you know, closed off and more like to yourself. And I don't know, it just felt really weird. I didn't like it too much. Like it made me feel like I couldn't live in Japan. You know, like I feel like it would make me like feel very lonely. No one dares to talk. Yeah, so that's the one thing that like, but I think that if you're a reserved person, that you wouldn't like that. But for me, there was many times where I was like, the silence is like deafening. And it's not just the silence, I think it's just like looking at everyone, and everyone in the car is on their phone or like asleep. So I'd often be like the one asleep. Or looking out the window is what I would be. Yeah, some people like that, but for me it's just my personal opinion. That's just my personal opinion. So that's just like another culture shock for me, I think so, as an American. Because like I'm not American, but I sit somewhere in between being extrovert and introvert. I'm like in between. I don't know, what's the word again? Where you're like both of them? You love the quietness. Yeah, she liked the quietness. Ambivert, yeah, I'm an ambivert.